The Pistons, Dylan, lost their third straight game tonight to the Bulls. This one by 31 points. It was ugly. They reportedly had a players-only meeting yesterday. When asked about that tonight, head coach Stan Van Gundy, as he is wont to do, did not hold back.
Team meeting, my ass. That stuff's, like I said before, that stuff means nothing. It's what you do on the court. Talking's easy.
What do you say to your guys after a performance like that?
Look, I have nothing to say. I mean, you know, it was a disgusting performance. So, by all of us, me included. I mean, it was unprofessional, embarrassing, humiliating, whatever you want to say. It was terrible.
We always appreciate Van Gundy for his forthright answers in front of the microphone. He's never been one to be diplomatic or PC. He will tell it how he is feeling it in that moment, and you can tell he was disgusted with tonight's effort. What do you make of his comments, and what do you think's going wrong with the Pistons this season?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you were sort of waiting until Reggie Jackson got back, and then you're figuring, okay, now that they're at, their full roster, this team should maybe start spreading its wings and taking advantage of a, an Eastern Conference. And I think they very well can be a playoff team within and start making up some ground. But certainly tonight was exactly what he said. Those adjectives described it perfectly. Putrid and disgusting and embarrassing and all that stuff. I think tonight had a lot more personally in watching this game. The game had a lot more to do with the Bulls and them coming out of a very frustrating 3-game losing streak, getting back home and kind of taking out the frustrations with having a great first quarter of which they shot 80%. Part of them shooting 80% and getting such easy baskets is the fact that Detroit sucked. So it's chicken or the egg. But I think these kind of games just happen sometimes. You see huge blowouts in the NBA, and each coach deems to deal with it in their own particular way. Stan Van Gundy feels like those meetings are senseless. I tend to agree with him over the most part because you could say whatever you want, but if you don't really bring it that next time you hit the court, who cares what you said behind closed doors? But they can work, too. It just depends. Depends on the situation, depends on your leadership from within the roster and the veterans on the team and what message needs to be conveyed. And if that message can be conveyed in a closed-door players-only meeting and then actually put forth on the court after said meeting, it's all just based on the scenario.
Yeah, I do think when I look at that Detroit roster that there is kind of a leadership void missing. Reggie Jackson has had some locker room issues going back to his relationship with a few Thunder players, Russell Westbrook namely. There's a Morris brother there, and we know how they have been malcontents at time in locker rooms. Andre Drummond is a great player, but he's still so young.
Is he a leader?
Is he really a leader?
Yeah,
I don't know. Tobias Harris, not sure. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, I would look at him maybe as a guy because he's always out there busting his ass for 38, 40 minutes on any given night, but he seems kind of like a quiet, mild-mannered type who just wants to go put in his numbers, put in his work. So I wonder if they need to get a veteran on that team because even on the bench, you got guys like John Lure, who's not really a veteran. You don't have someone like a Paul Pierce who's been around. You don't have someone like a LeBron James, obviously of that stature or of that skill and ability. Maybe they need to bring someone in to kind of be the locker room leader there in Detroit.